The wall of dust has arrived in the Coachella Valley. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Haley Clawson is tracking your ever-changing conditions. Haley, that is a brown cloud, and this picture looks dramatically different than it did 20-30 minutes ago.
Exactly. We were able to see those thunderstorm clouds far off towards the south, and it's because of thunderstorms in Imperial County as to why we are experiencing this wall of dust moving into the Coachella Valley.
What I want to show you is where that rain is headed now. Rancho Mirage, it is on you. Cathedral City, you are next. You are seeing this red polygon right here. This is a flash flood warning, and it's because of that heavy rain. It's not just that we're talking about high rainfall totals, it's high rainfall totals in a short amount of time.
You can see that wall of dust moving across the desert, moving towards the west. So certainly going to be monitoring this through the remainder of this evening as that wind continues to carry it closer and closer to the Coachella Valley. There is a severe thunderstorm warning right over I-10 between Desert Center and Blythe. We need more snow in our mountains. It's winter. We certainly have not been seeing enough of it this year, but over the course of this week, I'm tracking 3 winter storms that are looking to deposit several inches. Look at this view down El Paseo and Palm Desert. Out for a stroll, a scooter ride, whatever it may be, enjoy it. Jacqueline Cochran Airport recorded a gust of 60 miles per hour, meeting the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued. Again, rain is not a factor. When we're looking at rainfall totals all across the Coachella Valley, it has been incredibly light. But it also does not make it easy if you are out on the roadways. We're talking about reduced visibility from the blowing sand, the blowing dust, and then you also have to consider air quality. Everyone remembers Friday. Friday we had a high of 109. That was record heat here in the Coachella Valley. It was record heat in Palm Springs, record heat in Thermal. Thankfully, we're not talking records today. Beginning to see a few other cells trying to develop right around the Cactus City area, our local mountains, and then everything's going to be drifting down towards the southwest. So this is why we have this dust storm, and this is what it looked like before it came into the Coachella Valley. The hottest June on record, and for Palm Springs, those records go back to 1922. So how does this really stack up? This is the reason for the heat, and then it began to shift a little bit farther towards the east, and when it did that, it opened up the door and said, come on in.
Chief Meteorologist Haley Clawson.
A beautiful sunny day, but then when you step outside, it is far from beautiful. There is certainly a big change up in our air compared to what we were experiencing yesterday, and while yes, it is still hot outside, at least we're not seeing our temperatures up in the 110s like we were yesterday afternoon. Right now 105 in Palm Springs, 104 in La Quinta. This is actually a very typical temperature for us this time of year. However, we would be so much hotter this afternoon if it wasn't for the humidity. When you step outside, it is soupy. And what we're experiencing right now is actually drier than what it was earlier on today. We had our dew points in the 70s all across the Coachella Valley. And I get so many questions through email, social media. Why do you talk about a dew point? What's a dew point? The dew point is the more accurate measurement of how much moisture is in the air. Because if you look at these numbers and you see 32%, humidity, that's not very high, but when you see those dew points in the 60s and 70s, you know it's going to be sticky when we step outside. So here in the Coachella Valley, we like our dew points below 50 degrees. Once they cross 60, 70, yeah, it's its own category. It is soupy outside. And we have even more moisture headed our way as we close out this work week and head into the weekend. Hurricane K, now a Category 2 storm, is continuing its northward track, and it will continue this path until about Friday when it's looking to spin off towards the west as it weakens into cooler water. But this extra tropical moisture associated with this system is going to be moving into Southern California, and it has already prompted a flood watch to be issued, and it does include our local mountains and the deserts from San Diego, Imperial, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. We are talking about the potential of heavy rain that could be leading to flooding, and you need to be aware and take action should a warning be issued. So let's talk about the time frame. Through tonight, we're going to be experiencing mostly clear skies. As we head throughout our Thursday, we are going to be watching more clouds move in. The opportunity for a couple storms to pop up over the mountains does exist, though very limited. As we head through Friday, then into Saturday that this system is going to be bringing that extra moisture into Southern California, mainly through Friday night and into Saturday morning. However, we could see some rain earlier on in the afternoon. So that's what the First Alert Weather Team we'll be tracking very closely as we head through the rest of this week. We do have our First Alert weather alert for Friday and Saturday to match with that flood watch that is in effect. Our temperatures will drop drastically, and we are also looking to have some very much needed rain right here in the Coachella Valley. Peter, the heat even looks to hold off through next week. Like Madison had mentioned, yes, there was rain in the desert. This is a view of downtown Palm Springs of the rain falling. Yes, real rain. Real water falling from the sky right here in the Coachella Valley. It wasn't a lot, but you know what? It's something. And we haven't had measurable rain here in the desert since March. We needed it drastically. But that was then. Check out right now. Sunshine. Back to our sunny Palm Springs, even seeing the shadows of the palm trees out across the roadway. This is what we're really working with as we continue throughout the rest of this evening. We are going to be watching less and less activity out on our radar as it all gets pushed more towards the east, northeast. So when we're taking a look back at the radar, well, yeah, we're seeing plenty of that activity, but right now really just focusing on what's happening around San Gorgonio. A few more cells are going to be working their way across the high desert, and then primarily what's happening around I-10 between Desert Center and Blythe. Now, there was a severe thunderstorm warning that has been allowed to expire, but you're still seeing a lot of lightning, heavy rain within this area, strong wind gusts. There was even some hail. There is still a flash flood warning in effect right here, this polygon that you see in red. This is scheduled to expire at 8 p.m. Notice, so that the rain has since passed this area. Still, ponding of water out on the roadways would be the primary concern here in little low-lying areas. Keep this in mind if you do have to head out across the desert later on this evening. If you encounter some rain, encounter some slick spots on the road, this is what's happening. Be aware before you get out on the roadways. But just know what happened here in the Coachella Valley. While it was great to see, we need more of it. We need a lot more of it. Palm Springs recording 3/100ths of an inch. That actually set a daily rainfall record for the date at just 3/100ths of an inch. It doesn't take a lot to set a record here in the desert, but that's exactly what happened. Up in Yucca Valley, 8/100ths of an inch. So still, we're seeing those totals less than 1/10 of an inch all across the desert. We need more. So far for the year, Palm Springs from January 1st to today's date has picked up just over 6/10 of an inch. Where we should be for this time of year would be more than 2.5 inches. We are not there. We are not close to being there. It is still incredibly dry out there, and that's why dry lightning has been the primary concern, because there's not a lot of rain associated with a lot of these showers. Still, beautiful skies out there. Get ready for the sunset. Be sure to send your photos to share@kesq.com. We had a high temperature of 100 degrees this afternoon in Palm Springs. If you want it warmer, if you want it drier, just wait. That's what's headed our way, and we'll continue to heat up. John and Karen on our Comfort Air 7-day forecast. Sunday, Monday, 1 teens.
Yeah, that's what the summer's all about around here.
That it is.
Thank you, Ellie.